Something feels off. Bakari's trying to change, but is he walking right into a trap? And if Jackie's behind it, he might not see it coming. Bakari has never had it easy. From the moment he entered the chi, it was clear he was carrying a lot of weight on his shoulders. He was angry, lost, and trying to survive in a world where young black men like him don't get many chances. When we first met him, Bakari was deep in the street life, running with the wrong crowd, doing dangerous things, and living in constant survival mode. He came off as aggressive, but underneath all that was a kid who had no guidance and no real support system. Things began to shift for Bakari when he started to form relationships with people who saw more in him than just trouble. Papa, for example, treated him like a brother. And then there was Linny, someone who genuinely cared about him, not just for who he was on the outside, but for the pain he carried on the inside. These relationships didn't fix everything, but they gave Bakari something he had never really had before, a reason to believe in himself. Still, change doesn't come easy. Even as Bakari started to step away from the streets, the temptation to go back was always there. The past doesn't let go of people like him so easily. Every move he made toward a better life came with risk, and it's during this time that Jackie stepped into the picture. That's where things started to feel uncertain again. In Season 6, we saw Bakari trying harder than ever to become something more than just a street kid. He wanted to make his own way, prove that he was capable of being more than just someone to be feared. There was this constant push and pull between who he was and who he wanted to be. And just when it looked like he might finally find his path, someone like Jackie came along, charming, sharp, and always a few steps ahead. Bakari's story is the kind of story that hurts to watch because we've seen so many young men like him in real life. Smart, emotional, full of potential, but constantly pulled back by the world around them. And that's what makes his connection with Jackie so dangerous. He's in a fragile state, still trying to figure himself out. That makes him the perfect target for someone who knows how to manipulate people when they're most vulnerable. The Chi has always done a great job of showing how the streets chew people up and spit them out. Bakari is trying to outrun that fate, but his past still follows him everywhere he goes. And now, with someone like Jackie possibly creeping into his world, the question isn't just can Bakari change, it's will he survive what's coming next? Because Jackie, she doesn't just walk into someone's life without a plan. And Bakari, with all his good intentions, might not be ready for what she's bringing. Jackie might not talk much, but when she moves, people notice. From the moment she showed up on the Chi, it was clear she was playing a long game. She isn't loud or reckless. She doesn't have to be. Jackie operates in silence, watching, learning, then striking when it benefits her the most. And what makes her even more dangerous, she's not just cold-hearted. She's smart, calculated, strategic. He doesn't move like someone who's looking for quick money or attention. Jackie plays chess, not checkers, and people like Bakari, who are still trying to find themselves, are easy pieces for her to move around the board. We haven't seen everything about Jackie's past, but from the few glimpses we have gotten, it's enough to raise red flags. She's connected to dangerous people. She knows how to gain trust without ever giving too much of herself away. And more importantly, she knows how to read people, their wants, their fears, and the cracks in their armor. That's what makes her scary. She doesn't need to use force to break someone. She just waits until they trust her, then pulls the rug out from under them. Jackie's power doesn't come from brute strength. It comes from knowing how to control a situation without anyone realizing she's in charge. And when it comes to Bakari, it seems like she might already be planting the seeds. We've seen it before. In Season 6, she manipulated people around her with a calm smile and soft words. Whether it was through quiet threats or whispered promises, she got what she wanted without leaving fingerprints. People underestimate Jackie because she doesn't act like a villain. She doesn't scream. She doesn't show her cards. But that's what makes her even more dangerous. By the time you realize she's pulling the strings, it's already too late. She's the kind of person who waits for you to come to her, and once you do, thinking she's your friend, she tightens the grip slowly. Asterisk, let's be honest, we've seen characters like her before in the Chi, but Jackie is different. She's not caught in the game. She understands the game. And she knows how to use people who are still trying to figure out where they stand. People like Bakari. She sees the holes in his armor, the emotional pain, the need for approval, and if she offers him attention, or a little respect, or makes him feel seen, that might be all it takes to pull him in. Asterisk, what's most unsettling is how unpredictable she is. One moment she can be calm, cool, even kind. The next, you feel like you don't know her at all. That's a sign of someone who's wearing a mask, and Jackie wears hers well. Asterisk, so now the big question is, why is she even showing interest in Bakari? Is it part of something bigger? Is she using him as a pawn in someone else's game? Or is she testing him to see if she can mold him into someone who'll do her dirty work? One thing is for sure, nothing Jackie does is ever random. If she's in Bakari's life now, it's for a reason. Asterisk, and if Bakari doesn't figure out what that reason is soon, it might be too late. Asterisk, in the Chi Season 7, things are starting to shift, and the most dangerous changes are the quiet ones, the ones that sneak up when nobody's looking. That's exactly what's happening between Bakari and Jackie. On the surface, it might not seem like much. A few conversations, some glances, a little bit of unexpected attention. But if you look closer, you can feel the tension building. Something's brewing, and it's not just a casual connection. It's a setup in the making. Asterisk, Bakari is in a delicate place this season. He's still trying to prove to everyone, including himself, that he's not that same angry kid from before. He wants to do better, be better, but the world around him doesn't make that easy. He's being pulled in 1,000 directions, and every choice feels like it has consequences. He's trying to walk the line, but one wrong step could send him back down a road he swore he'd leave behind. Asterisk, that's where Jackie comes in. She's starting to show up more smooth, calm, always watching. She isn't forcing anything. That's not her style. She's letting Bakari come to her, and that's the trick. She makes it feel like he's in control, but really, she's guiding the whole thing, like someone quietly laying down cards in a game only she knows the rules to. Asterisk, the way Jackie talks to Bakari, it's never too pushy. She compliments him just enough to make him feel seen. She asks the right questions to get him to open up. And she drops just enough hints about her own past to make it seem like they've got something in common. She knows he's struggling with identity and loyalty. She knows he's still carrying guilt and trauma. And she's using that knowledge like a key, slowly unlocking his trust. Asterisk, let's be real, Bakari wants to be understood. And Jackie is smart enough to act like she does. She might even be the first person who's not judging his past, but that doesn't mean she's safe. That means she's dangerous, because she knows exactly how to get close without setting off alarms. Asterisk, there's one scene in particular that fans keep talking about when Jackie gives Bakari that look after a tense conversation with another character. It wasn't just a glance. It was a calculated moment, a test. Like she was asking without words, "Are you ready to play for my team?" That's how manipulation works. It's never loud. It's quiet. It creeps in. Asterisk, and Bakari. You can see the conflict in his eyes. Part of him knows something's off. But the other part, the part that's tired of fighting, tired of proving himself, wants to believe that Jackie sees the real him. That maybe this is someone who can give him purpose. Asterisk, but we've seen Jackie operate before. She doesn't invest in people unless she's getting something in return. So why Bakari? Why now? Is she planning to use him for a job? Is she trying to place him in a position of power only to control him from behind the scenes? Or is she using him to get revenge on someone else. Asterisk whatever the plan is, it's working. Slowly but surely, Bakari is getting pulled closer. And that's the danger. Because once Jackie pulls you into her world, she doesn't just let you walk away. Asterisk this season is laying the foundation for something big. And if the writers stay true to the Kite style, we're not going to see the full picture until it's too late. Jackie's not just another side character. She's the kind of woman who waits in the shadows, then strikes when your guard is down. Asterisk and Bakari. Right now, his guard is dropping. Asterisk. Fans of the Chi know this show never gives you a straight line. It twists, it turns, it breaks your heart when you least expect it. And that's why Bakari's situation with Jackie has people talking. It's not just about trust, it's about survival, redemption, and whether or not someone like Bakari can truly break free from the past or if he's just walking into a new kind of trap. Asterisk, there are a few major fan theories floating around right now, and honestly, each one feels just possible enough to be true. Let's break them down. Asterisk, theory 1, Jackie is setting him up for a fall. Asterisk, this is the one that feels the most likely. Jackie's patterns always involve power and control. She gets close, gains your trust, and then uses you when the time is right. Some fans believe she's working with bigger players behind the scenes, maybe pushing Bakari into a situation that could get him locked up or worse. Whether it's to take out a rival, clean up a mess, or just prove a point, Jackie could be positioning Bakari like a pawn on a chessboard. And if he's not careful, he won't even realize it until the trap is already sprung. Asterisk, theory 2, Jackie sees potential but on her terms. Asterisk, this version is more subtle and, honestly, more dangerous. What if Jackie does believe in Bakari, but only as a tool she can shape and mold? Not a partner, not a friend, just someone who's desperate enough to do what she says in exchange for a little validation. In this theory, she doesn't plan to destroy Bakari, she plans to own him. That could be even worse, because it means he might go along with it willingly, not realizing how deep he's being pulled in. Asterisk, theory 3, Bakari flips the script. Asterisk, here's where it gets interesting. Some fans believe Bakari is smarter than people give him credit for. That maybe, just maybe, he knows Jackie is dangerous and he's playing her game to get closer, only to turn the tables later. If that's true, then we might be watching the rise of a new version of Bakari. One who's learned how to play cold like the streets taught him, but who's using that knowledge for something bigger. But that kind of transformation comes with a price. If he plays dirty, he could lose the last pieces of his soul he's been trying to protect. Asterisk, theory 4, both go down. Asterisk, and then there's the darkest theory, that neither of them survives this game, that Jackie underestimates Bakari, and Bakari trusts her too much. And in the end, their connection turns into chaos where betrayal, revenge, or even death becomes the final outcome. We've seen the Chi go there before. No character is ever fully safe. So when two unstable forces collide, there's always the chance it ends in disaster for both. Asterisk, no matter which way it goes, this storyline is one of the most intense arcs we've seen in Season 7. And that's because it's about more than just crime or strategy. It's about identity, about how far someone will go to be seen, and about how easy it is to mistake danger for love when you've spent your whole life feeling unwanted. Asterisk, Bakari wants something real. He wants respect, redemption, a future. But Jackie, she represents everything that can twist those dreams into nightmares. The big question is, will Bakari recognize the danger before it's too late? Or is he already too deep? Asterisk, and maybe the most chilling thought of all. Asterisk, what if Bakari isn't Jackie's victim? Asterisk, what if Jackie turns him into someone else's nightmare? Asterisk, so here we are. After everything we've seen Bakari's past, Jackie's patterns, the slow build in Season 7, one thing is crystal clear. This isn't just a side plot. This is the Storm before something major hits, and whether Bakari realizes it or not, he's standing at a crossroads. One path leads to freedom and growth, the other back into the darkness he's been trying so hard to escape. Let's break it down. Jackie doesn't waste time on people who can't give her something. She sees potential, yes, but only when it serves her. That's how predators work. They study you, find your weak spots, then offer the exact thing you've been craving. For Bakari, that might be trust, or power, or simply the feeling of being seen. But whatever Jackie is offering, it comes with a price. And once you accept it, the strings get pulled. Bakari is not weak. Let's be real about that. He's sharp, emotionally aware, and more self-reflective than most of the people around him. But intelligence doesn't always protect you from manipulation, especially when it's disguised as affection, respect, or opportunity. Jackie's power isn't in her words. It's in how she makes people lower their guard without even realizing it. Now, here's where it gets complicated. What if Bakari knows she's dangerous but he's letting it happen anyway? Because sometimes, when people come from pain, they choose chaos over silence because chaos is familiar. It feels like home, and Jackie, she might feel like home to someone who's never had peace. That's what makes this storyline hit so hard. It's not just about who's good or bad. It's about who's tired, who's vulnerable, and who's finally ready to stop running, even if it means running into fire. So will Bakari become Jackie's next victim? We don't have a clean answer yet, but that's what makes it so real. Victims don't always know they're in danger. And sometimes, by the time they do, they've already made choices they can't undo. Here's the real question. Is Jackie shaping Bakari into something he doesn't want to be? Or is Bakari about to become something no one saw coming? Let's talk about it. Do you think Jackie has full control over Bakari, or is he letting her in just long enough to flip the game? Is he her next victim or her biggest mistake? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you're following the cheat closely, you already know this story's far from over. Greater than like, share, and subscribe for more deep breakdowns on the chi. And stay tuned, because when it comes to Jackie and Bakari, this is only the beginning.